All right, week 2, trading for Topstep, still in the combine, and the account is down pretty much $1,000 from the baseline. So it starts, I have a 50K account, so it started at 50K. It's down at 49,078. So it was a pretty bad week, and the max loss limit is down to 48, or it's at 48 635. So that's really only $400 away. So this week's going to be a little tight in terms of trying to keep this combine going. So like last week, I'm just going to review every trade starting Monday, which is what I have here, September 15th. And on the 15th, I had a pretty good I had a really good trade actually. So we had in the morning when I marked off the first 30-minute, the 30-minute range, so 9:30 to 10 Eastern, we pulled back, and this level is from recently. So I don't know what the reference point is here, but we pulled back, we consolidated around this 66.70, and then we started to go. And I got long right at the end of this consolidation, so this cup and handle, and rode it for the break. And then when we had some weakness, I ended up getting out. I do remember I thought it could go a lot more. So once it got weak, I just got out, and that was my trade. That was it was only a couple point gain, but I really liked the timing of that trade. And we ended up spending the rest of the day chopping around. So in terms of being long, there wasn't, I mean, there was a little bit more upside up here. There were a couple points, but I thought we were going to break, a little pullback, and really go, another 10 points or something like that. So we didn't end up doing that. So I had a profitable day on a day that I was kind of wrong about what I thought was going to happen. This is Tuesday, and on Tuesday I got long 2 contracts and I got stopped out. So I thought this is the first 30-minute range. So I was looking for a look below and fail here, where we look below the 30-minute range, fail, come back into range, and then test higher range. So this I was just straight up wrong. We ended up chopping around this area, going a little bit lower. Yeah, so we just fell apart and went sideways all day. Coming into Wednesday was FOMC. Yeah, same dynamics, and I thought the same thing. We sell off at open, and I think we can retry the high of open, and we really don't. So I got long for some bullish momentum for a move, and it never happened. So I got stopped out here. Then FOMC, big moves up and down, but we really went nowhere on FOMC. Just a lot of volatility. Then we start really moving. This is a really big move. Really nice. Big up, big down. This was probably No, I actually think Monday's trade was probably a better trade, but this was, we broke the 30-minute range, and we just kept running. So with this, I gotta find a way to hang on to this trade a little longer, because ultimately I left 16, realistically with a stop that's coming up, maybe another 10 points. But leaving 10 points on the table is that's not ideal. So this trade, I saw the trade well, and I didn't manage the trade well. So what I was doing, I can just tell by looking at the candle, this weakness, we did go straight up. All right, it's just straight up since my entry. And this weakness got me, kind of shook me out a little bit. But this is kind of a day that I had been looking for a while, where we get some follow through and some extension. I'm happy that I caught a piece of this move, and I like this setup. I need to find a way to stay in this type of trade a little bit longer. But we did come back down, we chopped around. And then Friday I had a big loss. Friday was kind of an interesting day, because I made a very uncharacteristic trade that I essentially forced a trade, which is not a good thing to do. However, the trade that I forced, I don't think was bad. The fact that I forced a trade is not a good situation to be in. And then I sized, I just had too much size. And this ended up being a bad loss. This is my worst loss so far. And what was happening here is we have this range, and then we come down and we're consolidating in the mid-range. And that is the problem, is that my trading, when I'm the most successful, I trade off of movement around the 30-minute range. So for example, a break of 30-minute high, or I like a look below and fail of the 30-minute low. So we peak below, it doesn't work, we reclaim it, and then we go the other way. The problem with this trade is I initiated a trade right in the middle of the range. So I bought right here, I got long. Now at the time, if for some reason I had to be in a trade, which you never have to be in a trade, I actually don't mind. I still see it as a wedge pattern coming in. We've been bullish lately, so anytime there's any sort of neutral activity, my position would lean more towards it breaking to the upside rather than the downside. And in this case, it broke to the downside. But the bigger problem here that I need to fix is we are in the middle of the range, and I have no, yes, I see the wedge, but all of my trading, the reason I mark off the 30-minute ranges is to trade around them. So when we're not at either one of the ranges, I really have no reason to take a trade. It doesn't matter how it looks. It's just not. It's not part of my MO. So that was the huge negative here. Is I broke. I wouldn't say my rules. I broke my trading habits, or trading habits that at least have worked a little bit. And then I did it with size too, which is not a good thing. And then I got stopped out. So I positioned bullish, I positioned for a bullish break, and then that didn't happen. market comes down, I'm fully stopped out, bad loss. And then the interesting thing is back here, we have a range, 30-minute low here, 30-minute high here, and then yesterday's at the time, so Thursday's 30-minute high right here. So this area I was looking at right at the beginning of the day, and it turns out we come through the range, we look below Thursday's high, fail it, and then we rip to the top of range. Now, had I not taken this trade, I gotta say I probably would have initiated a trade here as a 30-minute look below and fail. And I would have got stopped out in some capacity because I would have been looking for a run to top of range, and that also didn't happen. So at the end of the day, I really can't be too, so this is the exact thing I like to see, but I really can't be too upset because there was another opportunity before that I know I would have taken and I know would not have worked out that well, and that's probably when I would have called it a day. So either way, I wouldn't really have been around to trade this trade. This is exactly what I look for, though. I mean, this is picture perfect to me. And then what do? Eventually we break range. Oh, and then we run again. Wow. Okay, so those were my trades for the week. Really bad week. The account is down quite a bit. I'm still in Combine. It's not looking too great for this run, but I'm still alive. So coming into next week or this week upcoming, things I'm going to do differently are I don't have room for 2 contract trades anymore. So everything's going to be 1 contract. I only have $500 of drawdown left. Even on my non-disaster losing days, I tend to lose, in the $400 in terms of a range. So I'm still in it, and I have no reason to take myself out of it. With such limited drawdown, my expectations aren't very high, but this is the first run, so I'm just trying to gain XP and do a little bit better each time. So yeah, in terms of trading this week, no, everything's 1 contract. Not taking trades in the middle of the range. Finding a way to follow through with good trades. And I might just leave it at that. Just doing those 3 things. See if I can survive the week, keep the Combine alive, and see if I can put a green week on the board.